All right, all right, all right. I can't even do it without laughing. It's been 2.5 months now since we first did videos on seed going into the soil. So let's take a look at where plants should be, especially for new growers who kind of freak out that their plants aren't in the right spot or think they're not growing. You might find out, yeah, that's not so true. They're not growing for any of us. Many plants out there are very slow growing, especially our favorites, the peppers, and even more so, the super hot peppers. So if you don't know, the hotter the pepper, typically the slower the plant grows, or at least the longer time period it takes before you get a harvest. So we'll kind of show you how slow they're growing too, compared to like tomatoes that grow really fast. 2.5 months since we put the seeds in the ground. We've done a little bit of up potting. Let's take a look at where we're at now. First, I just got to show you so you don't feel bad. It happens to all of us. Pineapple tomatillos planted 4/22. Today is 5/13. They didn't do squat. Sometimes it happens. Now let me show you the purple tomatillos that I planted at the exact same time. Purple tomatillos planted at the same time, same day, and they sprouted pretty good. This is my first year growing tomatillos. Never had them before, thought it was cool, and definitely like salsa verde, so thought I'd give them a shot. The San Marzanos that I keep talking about that I sell out front, that's them now. That's one of the things I really like about San Marzanos. They grow pretty darn fast. They get a really nice thick stem to hold a lot of weight, and they produce a lot of tomatoes. And by all means, in my opinion, the absolute best tasting tomato, or at least I should say best tasting red tomato to make it fair, out there. But I absolutely love the San Marzano tomatoes, and they're not so easy. You can find them, and you can definitely find seed, even Burpee and every place has them. But being that famous Italian pepper, you would think you could find them everywhere. If you don't know, they're about the size of a Roma tomato. The flavor is off the chart, and a lot of your original Italian sauces and dishes were based on the San Marzano tomato. You can also find San Marzanos, apparently, I'm no expert, just I know where I can find them, even in the off season. If you go to the Hispanic aisle in Walmart or anything like that, you can get canned San Marzanos. If you're making a salsa or something in the winter and you don't have your own San Marzanos, you can still find them. Extremely large plant. These things are going great. Another one that I found out, I didn't realize, I mean, I've been super busy with selling the San Marzanos, but I listed them for $6 a piece. My son and I were walking into Walmart the other day. They had a tomato plant, not this big, in a little bit bigger pot. It was maybe a little deeper than a normal hanging basket for $18 and like 70 or 90 some cents, so $19 for a tomato plant. So no, you can get these for $6, or look around, you know, wherever you're at, look around to your locals. There's lots of guys like me doing the exact same thing. I just do it because I love them. The whole tray of jalapenos give you a good idea where they should be after about 2 months, or just over 2 months of growth. I'm going to go through and start separating them out of these 4-inch cells pretty soon. But jalapenos grow great. These are my cherry tomatoes that I showed you, that I got the seeds from Montrose Seed Bank years ago, that grow those humongous cherry tomatoes. They're doing pretty good. They're not growing at the speed that the San Marzanos did, or some of the full size, but they're doing pretty good. The Brandywines are going a little bit slower. I mean, they were planted at a little different time than the ones I just showed you. These were April 1st. So Brandywines are going a little bit slower, but I expect once they hit a point, they just take off. My mix of super hots, everything from, I only got one goat pepper germinated out of that whole thing. Then is the KSLS. They did okay on germination, about 50%, I guess. The cherry bomb did pretty darn good, and you can see the less spicy, it's pretty big. The Dorset Nagas are finally starting to stretch. If you can see them down in there. That's the ones I'm going to try to grow into a giant plant, but boy, they're slow taking off. And then down here, we have Scotch bonnets that their germination rate was, well, looks like about 90, yeah, almost 100%. Oh, actually, no, with that one, 100%. And then the red cayenne on the very end. Cayennes do really well. Then we did Cherokee purple, which aren't getting as tall, but they're bushing. The black crim, that's really starting to stretch. So for purples, I'm also doing the Ukrainian purple and the Paul Robinson that says it's a purple. So we'll see. I don't know. Honestly, never eaten a purple tomato before. I've always been a very traditional grower, and I'm trying to branch out and try a bunch of new things, because that's one of the great things about growing is you can try things that you don't find in the store. And then on that topic of not spicy growing faster, this is that crazy jalapeno plant, the heatless jalapeno. I bought the 4-pack. I told that story in an earlier video. If you want to check that out, that was the one with the what I call the crazy employee. But while we're on this pepper subject, take a look here. So you get these little flowers starting early. I pull them off, and I know it's painful, but I do. Pull them off, let it put all of its power into growing big for a while before you start letting it fruit. In the end, you'll get a lot more. Okay, so if you watched yesterday's video about the cold snap coming tonight, as promised, we're supposed to go up to like 83, 84 degrees this afternoon and then plummet to 40, I think, unless they changed it again. But either way, it'd be pretty darn close. Plummet to 40 tonight. That's hard on plants. Take care of those plants, get them inside. Okay, since we're right here, let's take a look at the onions, the garlic, and we'll work our way that way. We spent a lot of time on the square foot gardens yesterday, but there's two in particular I want to show you, because they're two that I said I wouldn't do. Onions are doing really well. All the way, let's see, all the way from the left side, I guess, over to here. These are all your Walla Wallas. I put a couple rows of the reds that didn't really germinate too great, and then 2 rows of spring onions spaced apart, just so I could see the difference from putting them in a big bunch versus spacing them apart. Like I'm always telling you, it's about testing. Over to the garlic bed. Honestly, I had these in yesterday's video too, and I cut them because I screwed up and called them onions and onionscapes. But we've gotten lots of garlic scapes that we're going to cut and cook with here pretty soon. This was the garlic that I planted at the end of last year in that video, and you can see, don't expect to get 100%. These over here are sucking, but for whatever reason over here are doing really well. The 2 San Marzano tomato plants that I chose for myself and put in the bed, along with a ton of snow peas in the background. Another experiment that I talked about in earlier videos. But as the tomato plants grow, which should outpace the peas, hopefully it'll help cast some shade on the peas and maybe get a pea harvest this year. Okay, since I showed you the new chicks that we've got in the brooder back here, let's give you an update so you can see how the big chicks are doing. You want to come see us? Okay, the one closest, he'll come out here in a minute. Well, come here, buddy. That is Rocky, that was named by Duncan. Now we got a Rocky the rooster. I know I don't have no treats for you. Here, you want to peek around the side? The white one's Rocky. Something I learned this year is be really careful. I chose to do straight run and just eggs from a friend in the original, the one I titled Meet the Cluckers. I talked about this one and I hatched my own eggs. We at least ended up with 2 roosters. I honestly think that we've got like 2 or 3 more, and probably that they're just afraid to crow because it traumatized them when I had to come in and take their brother. I gave their brother to a good friend of mine, Shay, that has a bunch of chicks, and he's got a few acres up there, so he's in rooster heaven up there. But it scarred the flock when we had to come in here and trap him because it's a pretty big run in here, so they've got room to get away. So we had to come in here, get him out of here. The flock hated me for like a week and a half after that. I would come in here and they would run. I see Rocky back there. So just a little advice. Honestly, if I did it again, I would just get the baby chicks from Murdoch's. It's a lot easier, or Tractor Supply, or your local, wherever. The ones that I showed you in the beginning of the video, I got out at Murdoch's. We'll see. They're supposed to be pullets. You never know. I honestly don't know how you know that young when you get them that way. But I mean, at like $5 a piece, I got the Jersey Giant and the Plymouth Barred Rock. Okay, in the interest of time, we'll just stick with 1 square foot garden. They're pretty close to the same. I think, oh, I've got some more mature kale in the other one. But other than that, I think I still have the same things in there. So Swiss chard's doing really good. Spinach doing really good. My biggest lettuce, butter crunch lettuce. And this was after I cut and made salads last night and mixed up salad for her to take to work today. The nice big spring onion over here, it's doing really well. If you can see, we have carrots back here behind. Now, the two that I wanted to bring you over here and talk to you about, I decided, so I did a video a while back. I think it might have even been my seed starting video that we talked about all the different things. And it's funny because in the video I said that there's 2 things that don't have a place in my garden. And they're 2 things that a good friend of mine, Jim, told me for years were really good, especially if you pickled them. One in particular that he really likes. I cut the part out where I said, sorry, Jim, they don't have a spot in my garden. But radishes and beets. So after I did the video and I said they didn't have a place in my garden, I got to thinking. In memory, radishes were super harsh. I don't actually think I've tried one since I was a kid. And I can't rightfully say, I know I've tried a beet, but I can't rightfully say I remember it. So I thought, after I did that video, I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So took 2 squares in the square foot garden and we planted radishes and beets. Now it looks to me like the radishes are well ready. I don't want to go pulling the beets up yet, but let's go over here and take a look. I'm going to pull one of the radishes. We'll see what it looks like. I remember them being pretty nasty, so I guess we'll see. But you know what? Our taste change as we get older, and the great thing about gardening is I tried it. Okay, let's take a look. The radishes are back here, and you can see these radishes. Look at there. I would say that's a good looking radish. We'll leave the other ones in, although they all look about that big. I'd say that's a pretty good looking radish. The beets, I don't see anything sticking out of the ground. I'm not sure if you're even supposed to. So I'm gonna wait just a little bit on that. I'll try a radish and I'll let you know. Maybe it ends up being something I like now. All right, since I told you guys that radishes don't have a spot and then changed my mind on it, I'm not going to go crazy, but I'll try a radish here on camera and I'll tell you if it's got a place in my garden now or not. It's not what I remember. Definitely not as harsh as I remember. It's not great, but I'd eat it. It's not bad either. I'm actually a little bit surprised. Maybe it's I've never had a fresh one out of the garden too. Maybe that's what I have in memory. So figured I'd go ahead and do it on camera, and maybe between seasons when I'm looking for quick crops, maybe radishes do have a spot in my garden. And on to my little seed starting area, and I guess you call this the mud room when you come in the back of my house. So first and foremost, because I always grow a lot of them, these are all Carolina Reapers. These Carolina Reapers were started April 1st. It is now May 13th. Almost a month and a half, just to give you an idea. Here's one. It's not the biggest one, but just to kind of give you a little idea. Got some water back here. Hang on, let me move the mic. There, just to give you a little idea of what the Carolina Reaper size. Super hot pepper, Takes off really slow, but it'll pick up. My Carolina Reapers get like trees. Another super hot pepper that a lot of people like to see. This is the red Primatali that I got from Chili Chump. I was pretty excited to get some of his seeds. Then, here's one that Stefan was asking about in the comments yesterday. So check that out. I told everybody how I'm super excited. Hang on, let me turn down this light. There, that's a little better. I'm really excited about how much white these Matapino peppers have on them. So out of, let's see, I think it was, can't remember if it was 10 or 12 seeds that I ended up having in the pack that I ordered. And out of those, 6 of them germinated. We've got another one. Look how pretty that is. I love the white. Another one. So we got 3 that have a ton of the white. And so I'm really curious to see how these will go. These were planted March 17th. So they're really slow growers. I'm sure just like every other one that we hit a point and they take off. Now out of those 6 that germinated, these are what the other ones look like. We got no white in them at all, and they're actually a little bit bigger. They're growing pretty quick. Planted the same day they were up potted, April 18th. Okay, let's see if you guys can help me out with this. I got seeds from an online trade in one of those stupid Facebook groups. I know. But they were supposed to be the fish pepper. This is what grew out of the damn thing. It's got tiny... Now, I don't have much of a smeller here, but there is a scent to this. One grew, it's giant, and there's all kinds of little purple flowers on it. See if you guys have any idea what that thing is. No fish peppers. No peppers grew out of that. I have the Craig's Grande jalapeno. I have, let's see here, orange spice jalapeno. What's this one? The Sugar Rush Peach. More Matapino. That was the last one, I think. Oh no, there's one over there too to make out the 6. The Gargantua jalapeno. Told you I've got a lot of jalapenos this year. I don't think that's a pimento, so I don't think any pimentos germinated. That's the other Matapino. And then over here we have a bunch of our Emerald Giant, the Coral Bell, the Purple Beauties, all that kind of stuff. So all my bell peppers and my sweet peppers are all over there. So just like my video yesterday said, these are not going outside yet. These guys can stay inside, keep them underneath a bright light, and we'll keep giving them nutrients, get them as big as we can before they go outside. And just like that, we come to the end of another one. So hopefully you liked it. We'll keep especially following that Matapino and the baby chicks. But more than anything, I'm hoping that especially new growers, but all of us, we see that distance of time between seed planting and where they're at almost 2.5 months later. A lot of times our memory doesn't serve us right. And we even experience growers, we sit there and look at it and go, why aren't they big enough? Just because it's small doesn't mean you're not doing your job. It'll take off. You see how my little peppers look inside the seed starting room. And some of them have been going for 2 months. My whole goal in all of this is letting you follow along with me. I've been doing it a really long time, so the shock and awe factor is gone. And maybe I can help some other people out. So like I always say, you don't have to be a prepper to be prepared. Just be prepared. Get started today. Plant your garden. That's going to be your biggest prep. And it's going to save you a ton of money, and it's going to taste so much better. It's a win-win-win all the way around. You're going to love it. It's going to bring your blood pressure down. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel happier. All right, we'll see you next time.